Herd hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
Listen, I don't like their red zone offense, but Houston Texans, 4-game winning streak, best defense, excellent head coach. They shut people down. Opposing quarterbacks this year have a passer rating of 74. That's a bad backup quarterback. So what does that mean? They're in every game. They're in absolutely every game. I'm telling you, they play Kansas City this week. Kansas City has to win. I would not want to play them. They play at a different speed defensively. 9 times this year, teams have scored fewer than 20 points. In an offensive league that's never had better offensive coaching, Houston at 10.
Number 9.
Philadelphia. I'm tired of saying I love their general manager. They lead the NFL in 3-and-outs. They're near the top in punts. I mean, Saquon Barkley is 39th in the league in yards per carry, and I don't think this coaching staff, can fix it in season like Matt LaFleur fixed the Packers' broken offense in season. I mean, they have the 22nd ranked rushing offense with Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and a good old line. I don't even know where to put them. Maybe I'm being complimentary putting Philadelphia at 9.
Number 8.
And Dallas just beat them. I'm sorry, since they got Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson, they're 3-0. Their quarterback pressure rate was top 3, and it's improved 35% since they got Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark. And now DeMarvion Overshown is healthy. Just trust your eyes. They are getting to the quarterback. They're doing a better job of protecting theirs. And CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, they're both number 1s. And now they run the ball. So, I mean, I say what you want. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys are a top 10 team in the NFL. And I'm going to take them to beat Detroit Thursday, number 8.
Number 7.
Well, the Bears lead the NFL in takeaways. They're running the heck out of the ball. Caleb Williams' inaccuracy is an issue. Should be noted, though, he's actually been very good on third down. His passer rating's over 100 on third down. Listen, Ben Johnson's got a Shanahan feel to him. He's going to run the ball 47 times. He doesn't care. So they have an identity. They take the ball away. Caleb Williams is good on third down, and in the fourth quarter, still has some work to do. But I like any team that is a physical team in December and January, and the Bears are.
Number 6.
Buffalo. Now, the turnovers have increased. Multiple giveaways in 4 straight games is a problem. And they can't defend the run, which will be their undoing in January. But Josh Allen right now is the best quarterback in the league. Despite not having a dominant receiving core, they're number 2 in big plays, and they're running the football. So again, their ability to run the football tells me they'll win a playoff game and maybe 2.
Number 5.
Seattle, turn the sound down. They just look different. I mean, they've outgained every opponent in 11 games. They are fast. They are physical. One of 5 teams without back-to-back losses. I mean, Sam Darnold did not play well this week, and they shut out a team 26-0. He threw 4 picks, and they almost beat the Rams in L.A. They got a lot of talent. Defense, back-to-back games with 4 sacks. Young defensive coach who is current, who has pivoted multiple times. I like Seattle, got him at 5.
Number 4.
Denver, I moved them down. 9-game winning streak, but it's a lot of one-score games, and they could have lost to Washington. They have trailed in all 12 games this season. I mean, if you told me a high seed lost in the first round of the playoffs, I think we'd all go, Denver? I just don't think their offense is even enough. There are times like this week when Washington moved the ball up and down the field. That's troubling. You hope it's just a one-off. The Rams their defense stunk this weekend. I have Denver at 4.
Number 3.
I may have Green Bay low. I have them at 3. 3-game winning streak, all by a touchdown or more. Jordan Love, folks, we got to stop wondering if Jordan Love's good. The answer is yes. Big, tall arm, doesn't throw picks. And now they get Jaden Reed back. Now they got Micah, so they have their closer when they have a lead. Now they're getting Matthew Golden back. Green Bay is a Super Bowl team, and they were broken offensively 3 weeks ago. But these young, smart offensive coaches like Matt LaFleur can fix problems in season. Defensive coaches, I mean, how many years Mike Tomlin going to struggle to fix the O-line and the run game in Pittsburgh? Green Bay at 3.
Number 2.
Rams had a bad week. Points allowed, giveaways, they were a mess. But they are the least penalized team in the NFL. Highest graded overall team, offense and defense. They only allow 17 a game. They had a stinker. They went out east. They didn't play well. But you can throw the ball on them if your offensive line can hold up. Mac Jones did. I mean, Bryce Young did. So I have him at 2.
Number 1.
I'm going to put New England 1. Listen, I watched them go to Buffalo and win. I watched them go to Tampa and win. 5th time they've scored 30-plus points. They're incredibly sound, great on special teams. I said it earlier. It's very reminiscent of the Belichick-Brady stuff with a more mobile quarterback and a player-friendly coach. What don't they do really well? They don't run the football particularly well. Well, the Chiefs have won Super Bowls in years that they don't run it well.
Okay, well, the Chiefs can run the ball well. It's the extension of the passing game that turns into the run game for Andy Reid and Yak and all of that. So can we stop perpetuating that nonsense? I'll also, I don't think saying they're going to Tampa or Buffalo and winning is this big accomplishment, honestly, because the Patriots are a great team, and the Bucks aren't. So, like, going to Tampa and beating them, like, I don't know. And the Buffalo Bills aren't a great team right now. That's just reality. And all those things continue to reinforce why the Patriots should be respected and feared right now. That's not, believe me, I know that sounds like I'm knocking the Patriots. I've been praising the Patriots all season long, and Drake May. So it's just, I just want to be like, they went to Tampa and beat the Bucks. It's like, yeah. Drake May is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. Welcome to the NFL. I was thinking about this. How to do this list. I always try to find a little bit more interesting ways to have these conversations. I could rearrange this. It's also funny because I want to point out that Colin now has the Denver Broncos at 4. When he had them at 2, I was like, I don't know if they're 2. I'm not so sure. Blah, 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 blah. And I had some Broncos fans randomly be like, oh, you're such a doubter. You're a hater. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm incredibly high on the Broncos. I don't know what you're talking about. Colin, who's been incredibly high on the Broncos and talking about Bo Nix and this, that, and the third. Now he's got them at 4. And it's like, is Colin a hater? I don't know. You tell me. But what Colin keeps saying about Jordan Love is driving me insane. I already just made a video and it's posted. It's like a first things first clip. But I also have some Colin's clips in there where he was just talking about how Jordan Love isn't elite and him and Matt LaFleur aren't working. And now he's like, stop questioning whether or not Jordan Love is great. And it's driving me insane. It's driving me insane. It's driving me insane. It's driving me insane. Yeah, it's, the way how I've been looking at these teams right now is not like who's better, the Patriots or the Rams or the Packers or the Broncos. Like, just not where my mind's at right now. It rarely is. Last year, I emphasized a lot that I put teams in tiers, in groups. So it's like, I think the Packers and the Rams and the Broncos are all in the same tier, and the Eagles and the Cowboys, and those, I'm making that up right now. But like, that's how I see it, rather than a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's just hard for me to ever look at quarterbacks or teams in that lens. I think it could be fun to sometimes force yourself to do that just for the sake of conversation and discussion. But it's not how my mind naturally works. And a lot of times for these clips, since they can get so repetitive and we can have the same conversation again and again and again, which is why I do my tiers differently, where it's just like, let's just focus on this last week. That way we can have everything just keep moving week to week to week. But where my mind is right now, I'm just, and this can change next week, but it's just how I'm viewing things right now. It's like, what do I believe your ability is to win a Super Bowl, and what do I think the likelihood of just your playoff success is? And right now I'm looking at so many teams as through the lens of like, can you win? It's kind of boom or bust. It's you're either going to lose your first playoff game or you're going to win the Super Bowl, right? Like, I could see either or. And that's the lens that I'm looking at it through right now. I could see the Patriots losing their first playoff game or absolutely positively winning the Super Bowl. And I could see that for the Rams, the Broncos, the Packers, the Seahawks, and the Eagles, actually. It's harder for me to see that. Oh, did I say the Seahawks? I mean the Seahawks as well. It's harder for me to see that for the Bears, the Cowboys, the Texans, and the Bills. The Bills is where I'm kind of like, well, don't I? And it's just like, it's hard for me to get there with the Bills right now. And again, this can all change by next week and the week after, right? The Bears go in and roll the Packers. It's like, my opinions will continue to morph and change. And although I made the argument earlier of saying, like, listen, the Chicago Bears absolutely can win a Super Bowl. And I made the argument that the Patriots can win a Super Bowl because those are the two teams that people are kind of like, well, I don't know, they're young, they're this, they're that. And I keep saying throughout the course of this season that, like, the way how this season has unfolded, there's no true reason to truly elevate some of these other teams ahead of some of these other younger quarterback led teams, just because of, like, you know, this is not the Bills of the past. The Ravens and the Chiefs aren't even here. The Eagles, who won the Super Bowl last year, don't feel like the Eagles right now. You know, the 49ers aren't there, et cetera, et cetera. And so I do believe that. But if we're going to back myself into a corner and really force me to just be really, like, nitpick and hypercritical in this moment, it's like, if I had to go with the level of confidence of, like, who do you think can get knocked out the first round or win a Super Bowl? It's like, right now in this moment of time, it's going to be the Patriots, going to be the Rams, going to be the Packers, Broncos, Seahawks, and Eagles. And to be clear, within these next couple of weeks, like, the Eagles could fall out of that and the Bears could enter it, or the Bills can seemingly maybe get some momentum going and they take down the Patriots and they're feeling good and confident, and I'm kind of like, okay, this is the Bills team that I was expecting to see this season. So this is so far from being set in stone. And weirdly enough, you know, even though, again, I kept emphasizing that there's no reason to truly elevate, and I kept using even, like, the Rams as an example over, say, the Patriots, just because, you know, it's an experienced quarterback over an inexperienced quarterback. The most comfortable, if you said you had to pick a team right now, who can win it all? You have to pick right now, not who can win it all, but, like, everyone has to pick one team. You got to pick a team. Who you got? And you got to quickly. It's like back when you were a kid and they were handing out jerseys. And they're like, all right, here are the jerseys. And you're like, oh, I want my number. And you have to, like, fight for it. It's like, I'd fight for the Rams. It just seems like the safest and most conservative bet, because it's the balance of experience, offense, defense, playmakers, you know, running back playmakers, wide receiver playmakers, quarterback playmakers, defensive playmakers. Like, they're flushed with talent, combined with great coaching on both sides of the ball. A quarterback who's obviously been there, who's won a Super Bowl, a head coach who's been there, who's won a Super Bowl, who's been to multiple Super Bowls, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, if I was forced to pick out of this group, that is how I would look at it when you're combining the levels of experience, consistency, et cetera, et cetera. But again, just to really be, you know, to be clear, I don't think that this is the year of the arguments of, like, well, you know, I'm not going to doubt Matthew Stafford, you know, on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles or something, like because of this is Eagles were a bad example because the Eagles also won the Super Bowl, but the Seahawks or something. Like, this is not the season to really emphasize those style takes, right? We're like, can Drake May really win on the road in Arrowhead? Yes, he can. I mean, obviously he's not going to be on the road in Arrowhead, but it's like, if they were, it's like, yes, right? Like, yes. Could they really beat Buffalo in the wild? Yeah, they can. Absolutely. You know, can the Chicago Bears on the road beat the Rams? Yes, absolutely. 100%. So, like, that, it's like, I kind of have two separate takes that in some ways feel incompatible with each other, but like I always emphasize, what lens do you want to look at something right now? And so for the purpose of this video, I'm just looking at it, you know, I guess I'm looking at it through multiple lenses in real time, a little peel back of how my mind works. But I don't think those takes are the takes. Like, when I didn't even watch it, I just saw it on ESPN where Stephen A was like, yeah, the Patriots can, win a Super Bowl, but let's like temper expectations or whatever it was. I just saw the title and the thumbnail, and I'm just like thinking to myself, like, that's not the year for this right now. Again, if the Bills were the Bills and the Ravens were the Ravens and the Chiefs were the Chiefs and the Eagles were the Eagles, then yeah, I get it. I really, really do. If this was last year or the year before that, I get it. If we were like, dude, the 49ers are the 49ers, the Bills, the Ravens, the Eagles, the Chiefs, like these teams are balling defense, offense, coaching, experience. You're like, yeah, that's going to be a lot for someone like a Drake May or a Caleb Williams to overcome or something. I don't see that this season at all. But it's why I see so many teams where it's just like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Seattle Seahawks find themselves in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be surprised if they get knocked out the first round. And what Colin was kind of essentially saying about the Denver Broncos, I feel the way about essentially all these teams except for a few of them. And, it's harder for me to get there right now with the Cowboys because they're not in the playoffs. I think the Cowboys have been playing great, et cetera, et cetera. I still need to see Dak Prescott play great in a moment that demands him to be great. In a moment that matters, that truly, truly, truly matters. He's just never had that in the playoffs. And at this point, it's just like, his last playoff game, I think still gives a lot of Cowboys fans PTSD seeing what he did. A lot of Dak apologists will just be like, well, it wasn't his fault. And it's like, well, he played a massive role in it. He played a massive role in losing to the 49ers twice as well. Just is what it is. And so, that won't change until proven otherwise from my viewpoint right now. And it's like hard to really buy into the Texans because if the Texans have a competent offense, then yeah, they absolutely, if they had a legit, if they just had a good offense, you would make the argument that they're like, top Super Bowl contender, number 1, number 2 Super Bowl contender. But like they don't necessarily have that. And like, so it's just, I don't feel that they can get to the Super Bowl in a way that I believe, say, the Rams or the Patriots or the Packers can. And, even the Eagles, for instance, when I said that the Eagles, are boom or bust, not getting knocked out the first round or winning a Super Bowl, that's largely predicated on the idea of them being able to just like seemingly fix things, right? Like they seemingly are able now to be like, enough of this, and they're able to like just like go on a run, get back to their old ways, be a bunch of bullies, be great on defense, be great on offense. But it's not like, if the playoffs started tomorrow, I would be like, I don't think the Eagles are going to win. If it was tomorrow and the Eagles had to play the Cowboys round 1, at home, wild card weekend, I'm like, I'm not picking the Eagles to necessarily win that game. So like it's just, some of that, boom or bust mentality is still kind of a degree of like, if they can get this thing going, if blah 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 blah, which is why it's like the door is still open for, say, like the Buffalo Bills, because I'm like, yeah, you had a nice win against the Steelers, like, yeah, you beat the Bucks, etc., and things like that, but it's just like, I don't really still inherently feel confident in what you're capable of doing. Like, and I made a whole video like, Josh Allen's always dangerous. You should always fear Josh Allen and what the Bills can do. But it's just like, what's more likely right now? If you had to choose, who do you have more confidence in right now? The Rams or the Bills? Right now, you can't think about it. Can't, marinate in it for, linger in it for a second. Who do you got? And it's like, you have to pick the Rams. They've been playing more consistent. They have better defense. They have more weapons. Their coaching is better, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, this is where my mind's at right now. It's a little messy. I admit. I just, at this point of the season, trying to rank, should the Bears be ahead of the Cowboys? Like, I don't know. I just don't care. Honestly, like that's just where my mind's at. And honestly, to be fair, throughout the whole course of the season, I rarely care about how to exactly rank these teams. But now that we just keep getting closer and closer and closer to the playoffs, I really am zoomed in now, and I'm like, what damage can the Patriots do? What damage can the Rams, the Packers, the Broncos, the Seahawks, etc. do? And so at least right now, in this moment in time, I'm looking at it very much through the lens of what's the likelihood of, what box are you in? Winning a Super Bowl or losing the first round. And I actually, as I was watching this clip, I was kind of like, I kind of want to put them in separate tiers of the most likelihood of them, are they in the box where they could win a playoff game, where they could lose first round or win the Super Bowl, win one playoff game or win a Super Bowl, right? And kind of put those teams in those various rankings rather than just general rankings, I guess. But Colin has always said that he only thinks the top 4 teams of his herd hierarchy can win a Super Bowl. That's what he said. He said his top 4 are the ones that he thinks can win the Super Bowl. So right now, I guess that's what he's got then. So I guess, we got 2 and 2. 2 AFC, 2 NFC. And yeah, there's a few more games for everyone involved here that really tell a big story. Chiefs, Texans, Seahawks, Rams, Seahawks, right? Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs. Those are all still important games. Patriots, Bills, Chicago, Packers, Cowboys, Lions. Like, everyone's still got some games where you're like, all right, we're about to really find out now. What can you do? And now we're like at the end of the season where you can't say, that was week 3. That was week 5. That was week 1. It's just like, no, like, now's the time to show what can you do. Where are you at right now? So it's about to get wild. The season is turning into a pretty one of the more crazier seasons in recent memory, honestly. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Colin's herd hierarchy? How would you rearrange these teams right now? Any teams that are missing, like the 49ers, the Lions, or, I can't think of any other team. The Chiefs, I guess, maybe, if you still think that they're good enough to be in there. And I'm curious also, like, how are you viewing these teams right now? What is the lens that you guys are kind of looking at this right now? How concerned are you, in terms of these rankings of like, well, the Broncos have to be in charge of the Packers, or, in front of the Packers, or things of that nature? Curious where your minds are at. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.